Will Ospreay made some comments on AEW following the grind comments that Triple H made, alluding to just any wrestler, and I emphasize any wrestler who chooses to work for another company because of schedule or money over WWE. Because get this, WWE is a grind. And it's not a grind of just work and ring stuff. You have to travel. You have to do media appearances. You have to do, community service stuff like a Make-A-Wish or, some sort of involvement like that. Like, it's not just the wrestling, okay? I'm kind of going to allude to Sara. Sara, I'm going to make a connection right now.
Okay.
WWE
Oh,
is
geez,
like the
okay.
Patriot way.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about it, in football New England, it wasn't just the play on the field. That was expected. You were expected to be great. But when it came to your involvement in the community and being a face for the fans that come to watch you play every week, that's what the standard is for WWE. And when you think of it like that, it is held on a higher standard and higher level than every other wrestling company because they are just wrestling companies, or if you want to throw sports entertainment. No, WWE is a business and a damn profitable one at that. So, sorry, LA Knight came on my screen and I was absolutely captivated. But his comments, Will Ospreay made comments about how he was, he grinded on the boss's daughter to get his way and all that. And as you can see here, our good pal, hopefully one day friend of the show, Big Daddy Cool Kevin Nash, said that those comments were not smart. Will
No.
Ospreay, they were not smart. Okay, and I have to agree with Big Daddy Cool that Will, they weren't smart. I get it. The passion's there. You love AEW because Tony Khan loves you and wants you to be the next star. I get it and love it. Keep doing it. But sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut.
Well, and I agree with what Kevin said when he said he didn't even name drop you.
He
He
didn't.
didn't even say your name.
He didn't.
It reminds me of, like, when you're on Twitter and you have a friend or whatever that you follow and they subtweet something and it, like, you think it's about them, or
Oh,
it's
that
about you.
anxiety hits.
And
That
yeah,
anxiety
and it's
hits.
like, if it applies to you, then it could be about you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's about you, because obviously when you have friends, they're going to have multiple friends. So they can say things that might,
Yeah.
well, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're
I.
not the
Oh,
only focus of
hand
their
up.
world. So they're not
Yeah.
only subtweeting about you. So
Oh my
to me,
God.
this
Yeah.
just felt like that was a situation with Osprey where it was like it hit a nerve with him, maybe because it applied to him or he felt like it did. And then he felt like he needed to respond. But it was like he wasn't talking about you.
Exactly.
The internet decided he was talking about you, but that doesn't mean that he was. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he was saying, because we don't know how many other people that he has been in contact with and tried to negotiate a contract and try to get them to come to WWE. Just because it's not, a big name like Will Ospreay or Okada, like, that doesn't mean that he hasn't talked to people. So maybe he was referencing some other younger up and coming wrestlers that were like, you know what, no, like, I'm just gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do this instead, and that they weren't willing to do the work that it takes to be a WWE superstar. That I just don't really, to me, it doesn't make any sense for Triple H to be saying anything negative about Will Ospreay when he tried to get him to come to WWE. Osprey's young enough to eventually come to WWE. Triple H is not trying to burn bridges, never mind publicly burn bridges with anybody who could eventually be a huge star in his company. Like, none of it makes sense. And so this just reminds me of like what
Gone
we were saying
Glover. What's
earlier with
up?
Tony Khan playing the footage. Like, you think you did something, bro, but you didn't. If anything, you just looked dumb. Like, you shouldn't have
You
said
look really
anything at
dumb.
all.
In terms of Ospreay's comments, my opinion, he didn't say anything or didn't say nothing what other people hadn't said before and made reference to sleeping with Get to the Top. Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of over it. Like, it wasn't like a cheeky remark. It was really kind of just bad over your head.
But the thing
And
is like,
that's what kind of annoyed me with it.
we're It's been over 20 years, bro.
Exactly. They're
Like, why are
married
we
with
still
kids.
saying that? Like,
Yeah.
I would assume that we're kind of past that because it would be different if like we were still in 2001 and it's like, okay, but like they've been married for 20 something years. They have 3 daughters. He's been with WWE, has really climbed the ladder from being a wrestler to where he is at now.
Yeah, you
Like, do
don't
we
get that
really?
just sleeping up to, like, you
Yeah, like
don't.
that's beyond that. And let's say that's originally what it was. Okay, well, they appear to be in a happy marriage and they've been together for over 20 years and they're thriving. So what is there to hate on unless you're jealous of what they have? Like, this just seems
Literally.
ridiculous at this point. It's not a, again, it's not a gotcha. It's like, okay, this is something that was said in 2000, but great job.
Yeah. I have no other, because you're so right. I just have nothing else to add. Weren't smart comments, but if Osprey ever wants to go to Triple H and work for WWE, they take him because WWE is a business and they can make money off him. I mean, how many guys have said shit about WWE and then I mean, fucking Eric Bischoff shook hands with what? What's this?
The most recent, what were we saying? Hell froze over.
Oh, true. CM Punk
Like,
showed back up. Like,
CM Punk
anything
said
is fucking possible.
he said way worse things about
On
WWE.
about WWE on WWE programming.
Yeah, like it's just like
Like,
he's,
he did.
yeah, and in the 10 years that he was gone, so it's like
Yeah.
it's not impossible for Osprey to get there eventually, but this isn't the right way to necessarily go about it, especially when Triple H didn't say your name, because he could have. It was on McAfee's show. It's not like it was
Oh,
on
he could have.
WWE
Yeah,
programming that
he
he
could have
had
thrown.
to, censor himself. He very easily could have said a guy that just signed over there or a star in the other company, like he could have said that and then you could put 2 and 2 together. But
Yeah,
he's speaking in generalities and people just want to believe it's about Osprey because he was one of their newer signings that people felt like applied all of the stuff that he was saying applied to him. And it's like, okay, here we go, like listening to the internet again because they're a reliable source 100% of the time.
100% of the time, Sarah. And don't
Yeah.
you forget it.